Hello, everyone, and welcome to iPhone Basics. My name is Christina. I'm a librarian at the Pales Heights Public Library. And before we begin today, I'm going to do some announcements real fast before we begin. Um, some upcoming programs we're going to be having this month. Tomorrow, January 9th, we're going to be having Managing Stress and Anxiety at 7 p.m. So feel free to come and sign up for that either online or at the public services desk, or you can also always call into the library and we can sign you up for any programs. Also coming up on Sunday, January 21st, we're going to be having our Sunday at the Cinema again at 2 p.m. that day. And the movie is going to be My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. So if you like that series, please come and join us. And also, at the end of the month on Thursday, January 25th, we'll be having a program on Colleen Moore's Fairy Castle that is at the Museum of Science and Industry downtown. So that's Thursday, January 25th at 7 p.m. So feel free to either call in, come in, or sign up online for any of those programs. Also today, during the class, you will notice that you're probably muted, but if you have any questions throughout the class, you can type in the chat. I'm going to show where it is here. It should be a little speech bubble that either on the top or bottom of your page. I'm just going to show chat here. I'll probably give you a little notification for that. So you can always click on that and you can type in any questions throughout the class. And I will try to get to all your questions. This is also being recorded and hopefully will be up on our YouTube page later this week. So if you want to watch the class again or any of our previous classes, you can go to youtube.com and search for Pales Heights Public Library, and you should be able to find any of our old tech classes. They can always rewatch. So again, this is iPhone Basics. And I'm gonna hopefully you can see there should be a lot of orange on your screen is the PowerPoint slideshow I'll be using throughout this class, but I'll also be showing probably some videos and walking through on my own iPhone some things, but let me know if any point during the class you can't see something on screen or for some reason my audio cuts out. Please let me know. But hopefully today I will go over a little bit of iPhone 13 and later. The most recent iPhone should have been iPhone 15 this past holiday season. They're also, I believe, up to iOS 16, but I'll also be showing how to get started with your iPhone, control gestures and the home screen. Hopefully I'll get into some settings and setting up contacts, phone calls, and if we have time, the App Store and Safari. So I'm going to first show some differences between the old iPhone layout. So if you had an iPhone 7 or earlier, the layout of the iPhone is a little bit different from the newer iPhones. So iPhone 7 and earlier, they usually only had like one lens for the camera on the back of the phone, the flash. They did still have the bottom microphone and speaker, but the headphone jack is different now. They do not have the single headphone jack anymore. They have the headphone jack in the same place as lightning connector or the charging cord. They also used to have a home button and I still have the sleep wake button, but now newer iPhones, they got rid of the home button. They got rid of the headphone connector, and they have a different black area up here now. we go back to the iPhone 7, you see it's white up here, but newer ones it's black and they have less space up there. The accessories your iPhone should come with when you first get it. It should come with either cord headphones or what they call now earbuds, but it does not have the cord anymore. They just have this top part here. They should come with a charging cord. An adapter, USB power adapter for plugging into walls. And then some iPhones came with what they call lightning to headphone jack adapter. So if you still had older headphones with the single jack cord there, you could have an adapter so it can plug into the charging cord. But not all iPhones come with that. So I'm going to show a video now for when you first get your iPhone and how they get started. A lot of stores that you buy that they can help you with the initial setup. I'm going to show a little video here, and then again, let me know if for some reason you cannot hear this. But the sound should play when I start this.
How to transfer data to it from your old device. So let's get into it. We'll start with turning it on. On your iPhone 13, press and hold the side button until the Apple logo appears. Then here goes the new startup screen, which is pretty cool. Go ahead and swipe up, and then select your language and country. Now we should see the quick start option. If you want to transfer data from your old iPhone, skip ahead to the second part where we outline all the steps for you. If you just want to set it up as a new device, tap Set Up manually. You'll need a network connection to activate. Connect to a Wi-Fi, or insert a SIM card to use cellular data. When you see this data and privacy option, it means the device has been activated. Now you can set up a Face ID and create a passcode. Then we'll see the options to restore our apps and data. I'm just going to choose Don't Transfer Apps and Data. Sign in your Apple ID now to use iCloud, or you can skip it if you prefer to do it later. Then we can set up options like Automatic Update, Siri and Screen Time, just like the old devices. Here goes the dark mode. And then, here we go. We are on the home screen. This is awesome. If you want to transfer data from your old iPhone, here is how to get it done using the Quick Start. Place your old device near your iPhone 13. Turn the screen off and on to invoke the Quick Start. Tap Continue. And then scan the image on your new iPhone. Now continue with a few setups till you get to the data transfer screen. Tap the Continue button to start transferring. Enter your Apple ID password when prompted. Set up your payment and Siri, and then the transfer will begin. How long it would take depends on how big a backup you have on the old device. Well done. Seconds later, we'll see the lock screen. So there it is. All our data and settings have been moved to the new iPhone. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.
Okay, so that is for setting up your new iPhone. Again, if you're doing it at the store, a lot of times the people at the store can help you walk through it as well. But the phone does pretty much help you walk through it as well. Okay, and then going on to the next video. This video does a quick tutorial on a lot of the control gestures for newer iPhones. So if you have any trouble with control gestures or don't know of some, this video real quick walks through a lot of them. And again, if for some reason you can't hear the audio, please let me know in the chat. That should again be either on the top or bottom of your screen in this little speech bubble. Again, I'm also going to give a little notification there. That should have popped up a notification so you can see where it is.
Watching. So right off the lock screen, you can use either the swipe up gesture to access your passcode or use Face Unlock if you have Face Unlock set up. To the right and to the left of the bottom of the screen are your camera and flashlight controls respectively. This is default out of the box for the iPhone 13. What you want to do is hold down to the right of the camera button to activate your camera, and then similarly hold the flashlight button down to activate your flashlight. So now let's unlock the iPhone and go for the gestures from there. If you're already in an app, what you want to do to get back to the home screen is swipe up from the bottom of your screen. This is one of the most basic functions and was originally Apple's replacement for not having a home button. What you might not know is that if you swipe left or right at the same position at the bottom of the screen, you can actually quickly swipe between apps. This is of course useful for multitasking. To access your app tray, what you want to do is swipe up and hold from the bottom of the screen. Here you'll get presented with all of the app cards that you have open at a given time, and you can scroll between them by swiping left and right on each of the individual cards. To close one of these apps, what you want to do is swipe the card up quickly, and you'll see that you can close the app from the app tray. You'll probably notice that you can select more than one app to close at one time by using multiple fingers and multi-touch on your individual app cards. Back to the home screen here. If you swipe left from the top of the screen, swiping down, you get to access your notifications. And similarly, if you swipe right, you get to access your control center. Here's an overview of some of the basic functions of Control Center. At the top left, you can access airplane mode, turn on your cellular signal, Wi-Fi, and also Bluetooth. Below that, you can set your screen lock. Below that, you can set screen mirroring, your flashlight, a timer, your calculator, get to the Photos app, and of course, make a note. And of course, you have your brightness and volume sliders. What you might not know is actually if you hold down on each of these individual functions in the control center, you have access to a few more options. For example, if you hold down on the brightness slider, you'll have access to dark mode, night shift, and true tone. If you hold down on your Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, you'll of course have access to your accessible devices. And one of my favorites, if you hold down on the flashlight, you actually get access to how bright your flashlight is. Going back to the home screen, if you swipe left all the way to the home screen, you get to access your widgets tab. And of course, if you swipe all the way right on your home screen, you get access to your app library. On any of the app trays in your home screen, if you hold down on an empty space, here you can begin to edit the layout and the apps available on that page in the home screen. At the top left, you can add plus to add an app. At the top right, you can add done. On each of the individual apps, you have a minus button to remove the apps from the home screen. If you hold down on a given app, you have access to some of the quick options for that app. After long pressing on a given app or a given home screen page, you can hold down and drag an app to move them around on the home screen. You can also move an app over another app already on your home screen to create a folder for those two apps. And of course, you can move apps into folders that you've already created by dragging them over to the folder as well. Going back to the home screen, you can enable reachability mode by simply swiping down towards the bottom of the screen. This brings your app or all the content of the screen down so you can reach it more easily using one hand. So there you have it, everyone, an overview of the swipe gestures available for your brand new iPhone 13.
Okay, so that was that video. Again, also throughout the class, if you have any questions or if you would like me to explain something again, always feel free to put it in the chat. I can also, I'm going to share the links for these two videos in the chat, but I can also always email them to you after the class if you wish. Just let me know in the chat at the end of the class if you would like links sent to you. So this one is for the first video, just about setting up and activating your iPhone. And that is the second video about control gestures. Okay, back here. I'm actually going to go over more about the home screen and the control center. Just give me one moment. Oh, I do see one chat has come in. Okay, yes, I can do that to you after class. I can send out an email with the links. Okay, so hopefully you should see my iPhone screen here. Please let me know if you do not see it, but this is my iPhone screen right here. And when you first wake up, your phone, well, it will ask either for your number code or fingerprint or Face ID, whatever you have set up for you. And then once you open it, it will go to your home screen. Yes, I have a silly background screen. But here is your home screen. And yes, if you slide all the way to the left, it will bring up your widgets, depending on what you have set up. Sometimes it'll just be like the calendar app and the weather app and news and stuff like that, and even your percentage, just depending on what widgets you have set up. And if you scroll all the way to the right, you can search your app library easily. So if there's an app you're just trying to look for, you don't remember which screen you have it on, you can always search for the app by name. And as he was saying in the video, if you press and hold on your home screen, you will see all your apps start wiggling around like that. That's an easy way to delete apps from your phone. It will delete its data, but you can always re-download the app from the App Store at any time. If you would, so say you click on it, the minus button, it's going to ask if are you sure you want to delete the app? You can say delete the app or cancel. And then if you just press the home screen again, the apps will stop wiggling. And as he was saying, you'll see here I have some apps in folders here. So let's say at the bottom here, bottom right, I have a folder called work. And you can click on it and you'll see more apps. So it's a nice way to help clean up your home screen if you don't want too many apps taking up your home screen. And as you were saying, to make a folder, when you click on hold on the home screen, tap and hold on an app and then hover it over another app and it will make a folder with it. And then it will even let you edit the folder. So say you want to name it something. You can type, click where it shows, and then it'll let you name the folder. So let's name this stores. Just hit the done on the bottom right there, and it has renamed it for you. And tap the screen once again, and you'll exit out of the folder. And then you can always tap the done in the upper right, or just tap the home screen again, and it will stop the wiggling. Now you will see I have an open space here on my first screen. So let's say I want to move one of the apps from the second page up now to the first page, I will tap and hold so it starts wiggling. Oops. Let's see, edit home screen, and now it's done the wiggling. If I move it to the edge, it will now move it to the next page, and then I can just leave it there. And you will see I have now more space on this page, so I can move the next one up. And there we go. So that's how you can edit the home screen. Now let's look into settings here. Settings is always the gray gear icon. It's in my third row, rightmost column here. And it seems daunting at first, but it's actually quite easy. You can search for certain settings up the top here if you're looking for something specific. Right here it says my name. That's going to give me all the information for my Apple ID. So I can even see what I have, what payments I have assigned to it, my sign in and security, if I have any subscriptions, my iCloud, media and purchases. This is for setting up Find My iPhone, just in case you ever lose it. And if you have any family sharing. This is also where you would sign out of your Apple ID, but most of the time you keep it signed in. Go. And then at the bottom there, it says Christine's iPhone. I can click on that. And it will give me all the information I need about my iPhone. So if they ever ask for like, if you get your own phone number, or if they ever want to know what model or version, iOS you have up to date, serial number, stuff like that. That is there. Right here you can see if you have any subscriptions or anything you need to renew, or if you want to set up Apple TV, stuff like that, or if you have anything else you need to finish setting up, it will let you know right here. This is also where you can get to airplane mode. So when you're on airplanes, you turn that on, especially when they're taking off and landing, so that it doesn't mess up with any of the pilot's communication. Below that tells you what Wi-Fi you're currently connected to, and if you want to change the Wi-Fi you're connected to, or if you even want to turn Wi-Fi off, you would do that here. When it's green, that means it's on. When it's gray, that means it's off. This is also where you can turn on Bluetooth, cellular data. That is what you would use if, unfortunately, there's no Wi-Fi's to connect to. Always double check with your cellular data plan to see how much you have. Some plans limit how much cellular data you can use per month, while others have unlimited data. So just would have to check with your provider what you have. Below that, you can see, well, mine's AT&T, so you can tell who I use. But you, depending on your provider, they'll have more settings here. And also here, it will let you know how much you've been using per month. Stuff like that. You can even turn off which apps can use cellular data when you're not connected to the Wi-Fi. Again, green is on, gray is off. Some iPhones, depending on your provider, can have your cell phone provide a personal hotspot, which means it's kind of like having your own personal Wi-Fi, but through your phone. A little bit later on, we have notifications. So that is how your notifications are listed on your phone and what kind of tones it makes. So right now you can see the blue one is the one that I have selected right now. So I'll have my notifications like as a list by newest on the top, oldest on the bottom. Or you can also have it like stacked on top of one another. Or you can just have it counting how many notifications you have, but not having the full message show. You can even have a Siri, which is the personal assistant on iPhones, like say talk that you have a new notification. Below that, down here, you can even select which apps will give you notifications and which ones won't. So for example, I have here Discord, some games, Facebook, those ones I have off. So I will not see the notifications for those apps unless I go into those apps. Some other ones, for example, messenger messages, so text messages, notes, and phone, so such as phone calls, those ones I have on. So I will get those notifications whether I have those apps open or not. So you can have that set up for each app if you want. Sound and haptics, that is where you can set up ringtones and alerts. Make sure that this sorry if you heard that. It starts when I mess with that, it starts playing my ringer so I can hear how loud it is. So you want to make sure that's at least somewhat on, because otherwise if it's all the way off, that ringtone is going to be quiet, it's going to be off. Haptics are the vibrations that happen on your phone. So for example, when your phone is ringing or you get a message, a lot of times your phone is also going to vibrate along with the ringtone. But I have it so that if I have my phone in silent mode, I also don't want it to vibrate. Here is ringtones, text tones, voicemail, all different types of notification types. And you can if I click on the arrow on the right here, it'll give me a list of different ringtones I can select, and you can just click on them and it'll play you a little snippet. So you can select the one you like the most. The text tone and sent mail and stuff like that. They can have shorter ones. So if you don't want a very long ringtone to play when you just get a text, you can have a shorter one. Also system sounds and haptics down at the bottom here. So if you want like a sound to play every time you click a letter when you're texting, you can have that on if you want. I have it off right now. You can also have the lock sound play when you lock the phone so you know that it's been locked properly. They also have some headphone safety and audio down at the bottom here, just so you know you don't accidentally play anything too loud right into your ears, which would be bad otherwise for your ears. Below that, there's also something called focus. So you can set up what they call different focuses. So for example, if you are working on work right at the moment and you don't want to be interrupted unless it's something very important, you can set up that you'll only get notifications from certain apps or anything like that. You can also have, as I do right now, I have do not disturb on right now, so I don't get any notifications at all right now because I don't want anything interrupting the class. You can also set up certain things for sleep. So again, if you don't want any notifications unless it's an absolute emergency when you're sleeping, you can set those up, and you can even share these, what they call focus profiles across your different devices if you have your Apple ID set up on multiple devices. And the very nice thing about this is you don't have to go into settings every time you want to turn it on. You can go right to the control center, which you were saying if you swipe down from the top right, and you will see right now it's a crescent moon. I can click on that and it will let me choose which focus I want to have on. If I were to click do not disturb again, it would turn it off. So for this, if it's white, that means it's on. If it's the darker gray, black here, that means it's off. So that's very nice that you can just turn the focus on and off right from the control center. But from here is where you can set up screen time here. It's going to give you, you can set up to have a breakdown of how much screen time you're using a day. And then you can even limit usage. This is especially good for families that might have younger kids who might not have as much self-control on the screen time yet. You can set up how much screen time they can have a day. And then once they reach that time, they can, it will give them a notification that, hey, you've had too much screen time. You can also restrict where they can go on, like Safari, and what kind of apps they can download. So that is good. That's there in screen time. General. This is going to give you more of a breakdown of the different things on your phone. So the first one, about, again, it gives you a breakdown, of your phone, what type of phone you have, what software version you're on. You can see what coverage you have and stuff. It also gives you a breakdown of what you have on your phone at this time. So you can see I have quite a few songs and videos and photos and applications. It also gives me a breakdown of how much space and capacity my phone had at the beginning. So I had 256 gigabytes at the beginning, and I still have 141 gigabytes of open space left on my phone. This also gives you a breakdown of your Wi-Fi that you're on, your provider, network provider, and carrier, and stuff like that. So if you ever wonder how much stuff you have on your phone, you can find it in About. Up here, software update, that will tell you. Oop, it looks like I have another software update available for me. That will tell you here. And then you can even set up when you can do the update if you want to do it right now, which I'm not. Or I can tell it later tonight. AirDrop here. That is if you want to, well, they call it AirDrop. If you want to send either photos or photos or other types of files to someone that you're in the area with right now, you can do that. But it has to be another iPhone. You would click AirDrop. This you can say, right now I have it on contacts only, can send me stuff. Or I can turn it completely off. That means no one could AirDrop anything to me. Or I can say everyone for 10 minutes, but that means everybody within sharing the same Wi-Fi as me could send me something. So always be careful with that. So you would click on that to turn it on. And then when you're on the photo or whatever you want to send to someone else, there is an option. Let me show an example. Let's say I want to send a lovely picture of the ice cream I took the other day to someone. There is the option in the bottom left. It looks like a little square with an arrow pointing up. That's so if you want to send it to someone. And the first option on mine, it says AirDrop, and it's the white icon with the blue circles here. I will click on that. Right now, there's nobody else nearby, but if there was someone who I could AirDrop it to, their name would show up here, and I would just click on it. And on their phone, it would give them a little notification that I or you are trying to airdrop them a photo, and they would say either accept or no, and then they would just be on their phone within a second. But again, AirDrop only works if they're in the same room or Wi-Fi as you, a certain range. So if they're in another state, that's not going to work. You would just have to text them the picture. Airplane handoff, that is for cars and stuff, or any other Bluetooth enabled devices. That's used for AirPlay, so any videos or audio, you can do that. CarPlay as well as here. Picture in picture. So when explains right here. Oh, sorry. When you swipe up to go home or use other apps, videos and FaceTime calls will automatically continue in picture in picture. So if you're in a FaceTime call, a video call with somebody, but you still want to check another app while you're still on your phone, make sure to have picture in picture enabled here, and you will still be able to see them in like the lower corner of your phone while you're still while you still go to another app. Further on, iPhone storage, again, it's going to break down what I have on my phone, but possibly even further. And also, it's kind of nice. It gives you a little visual on the top here. Shows you how much space is being used up by other things. So you can see I have a lot of applications apparently on my phone. But then next is photos, music, messages, some podcasts, the iOS software itself, a little bit of system data, and then I have still about half my storage open on this phone. But here you can also review your photos and stuff, or videos and stuff. So if maybe there's old videos you don't need anymore, you can review them here. This option here, offload unused apps. If there are some apps on your phone you just haven't used in a long time, it will still keep your data for the apps. It will just offload it onto the cloud, what they call the cloud. So you can go and get them again, and it will still have all your data. And here is also, it will show you by size what apps are you using up the most space. So I have a lot of photos and stuff like that. Well, it gives you a little breakdown. You can also have background app refresh. So that will let your apps update without you having to go into each one. Also down here, or in general, date and time, keyboard, fonts, language, and dictionary. This is where you can set up your time zones, set up your keyboard, and some settings for the keyboard, whether you want auto capitalization, auto correction on, checking spelling, predictive text, that it will give suggestions of what it thinks your next word is. You can also enable dictation and auto punctuation. So if you just want to say your text without having to type it, you can have that as well. Things like that. Fonts, right now I don't have any fonts installed. It would go to the App Store to get different fonts. Language and region, if English is not your first language. You can also set up region calendar, temperature, US measurement system, things like that. And also the dictionary, so you can have different dictionaries selected if English, again, is not your first language. VPN and device management, that is if you would buy a VPN software, but iPhone doesn't automatically come with that. Also, they have the legal stuff for legal purposes. And this is at the very bottom. Again, if you're getting a new iPhone, this is where you would start the transfer and reset iPhone. But it's only if you're getting a new iPhone. So most of the time you're not worried about that. And the last one, shut down, that's just another way to shut down the iPhone if you don't use the button prompts, which are for shutting down newer iPhones. It is actually both buttons on the side. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. This is the sleep wake button on the right side of the iPhone. And on the left side of the iPhone is the volume buttons and the silent. If this is red, that means you're in silent mode. If it's gray, that means you have sound on. So to turn off your iPhone, you would press and hold the top volume button and the sleep wake button for about 3 seconds until you're going to see it here, hopefully. Oh, or shut off. Sorry. It would pull up a screen that would say slide to power off or cancel. If you press cancel, that means you're canceling the shutdown. If you slide it, it will turn off the iPhone. Sorry, let me get the screen mirroring back on. That's it. There we go. Hopefully you should be able to see that again. I apologize. Okay. There we are. Okay, back to settings. That is just the general settings. Here under general is the control center that allows you to select which shortcuts you want in the control center, which is this little area here when we pull down from the right. So I have right now on the flashlight, timer, calculator, and camera. But I can also have, as you can see, quite a few options in there. I could also have in the accessibility shortcuts if you need any accessibility features on your iPhone. I could also have a shortcut to set up the alarm, the Apple TV remote if I have an Apple TV, the code scanner, which is a nice little feature in the camera that allows you to scan a lot of those little QR codes that you might see in your day-to-day life. There's also a dark mode, so if you're using your phone at night, a lot of times the dark mode is easier on the eyes. Guided access and hearing applications. If you have Apple Home, you can have a shortcut to that. Low power mode, which just allows the phone to like kind of run on battery saving mode. A magnifier for if you need to magnify anything on your iPhone screen to make it easier to read. Music recognition. That's a handy little feature. Sometimes if you're out and about and you hear a song over the radio, but you don't know what the title of the song is, you can turn the music recognition on and it should be able to tell you what the song is. Quick access to notes and quick notes, screen recording, sound recognition, the stopwatch, text size, any voice memos you might have on your phone, and wallet, which some people put like digital credit cards, or even allows you to have a digital version of your driver's license a lot of times now. So if you want to have that on your phone, that's a quick way to get to that. Below that is display and brightness. That will just set up whether you want your display on light or dark mode. You can even change the text size here. And I'll show you how large it can get. So if you need larger text on your phone, you can set it to large, or you can set it to very small, but most people kind of have it in the middle or larger. You can also have bold text, which will help make it a little bit bigger. You can have True Tone on, which you can see. Let's see if it. Okay, that doesn't really show it on your end, but on my end, when I have True Tone off, it kind of looks a little bit more like blue. Or you can have True Tone on. So automatically adapts the iPhone display based on ambient lighting conditions to make colors appear consistent in different environments. So it tries to keep it as white as possible. You can also set up night shift. So once it gets darker, it'll keep the screen a little bit darker to not hurt your eyes as much. Here's also where auto lock and race to wake is on, or you can be set up. So auto lock, if I have it set to 5 minutes, if for 5 minutes I do not touch my iPhone screen or move my iPhone in any way, so maybe I set it down somewhere and forgot to put it in sleep mode. After 5 minutes, it will automatically put the phone into sleep mode, so it helps save battery power. Also, raise to wake, if I move my phone at all, it will pull up my lock screen. If I don't unlock it, then it'll just go to sleep after about 5 seconds. But if I raise it, then it will allow me to go to my lock screen and unlock my phone faster. Home screen and app library. This is so if I add a new app or application to my phone, it will automatically add it to my home screen. Otherwise, if it didn't, it'd be saved on my phone, but it wouldn't be on my home screen. I would have to search for it every time, and some people can find that quite annoying. So it automatically downloads the apps to my home screen. It also allows the search bar to be found at the very bottom of the home screen. Let's see down here. I can click on that and bring up the app search right away. Accessibility. These are going to be a lot of the accessibility apps and functions if you need it. So I'll list the vision accessibility features first, then physical and motor ones, hearing, speech, and any general. So you have voiceover, zoom, display and text size, motion, spoken content, and audio descriptions. You can always go to here, click on each one, and it has a lot of different features for you. Even some typing feedback here in spoken content. Physical and motor touch. There's some assistive touch, haptic touch, tap to wake, shake to undo, vibration, prevent lock to end call. So it prevents the side button from ending the current call. There's also Face ID. You can set up here, Apple TV remote keyboards, side button. For hearing, there's hearing devices. So if you have a hearing aid, you can go here, and as long as your hearing device should be Bluetooth enabled and stuff, it should show up here so you can pair it. Lots of different things, even subtitles and captioning. Live speech and personal voice. And here is also where you can set up Siri at the bottom. So lots of different accessibility features here that you can go into. Wallpaper. This is where you can set up the wallpaper of your phone. As you can see, I've set up a silly one, but you can have more normal ones. Here's where you can set up a new one. So let's say, for example, I wanted to add a new wallpaper. It comes with some preloaded ones. You can click on here, but you can also pull it from your photos. Kaleidoscope emoji. Let's say, for example, or you can even set up from photos, people, photo shuffle, so you can shuffle the different photos. Or you can just do a different color. Let's say we wanted to go to collections. You can do that. So you would add it. You can even click in here and change the font color, the font size, the different type of font. Click here. You can even have it set whether you want it to have the calendar or if you want it to have, if you have events on your calendar, so it will show what events you have that day to come up. So you can choose, or you can even have it set, if you want to know if you have any new emails right when from the screen, the stocks, the weather. You can choose what they call widget to have. And you could set it to automatic, but you also set it to light or dark. There's another one where you can add what they call a widget. You can have it set so it will tell you how much battery life you have, or the clock, Facebook. So you can set up your different lock and home screens. Let's cancel for now. You can set that up here. Or you can make a completely new one. And you can have the lock screen and your background home screen two different things if you would like. But that's where you can set that up here. Standby is a newer one. So standby will turn on when the iPhone is placed on its side while charging to show information like widgets, photo frames, or clocks. You can also have it show notifications as well. Right down here, Siri and search is also where you can set up Siri, and you can choose whether you want Siri to be always on or off. I have it set so I would have to press the side button or the wake sleep button, the larger button on the right side. If you press and hold only for like 2 seconds or so, you will see a little icon come up on the bottom of the screen that kind of looks like a white circle with colors. That means Siri is activated, and you would just ask for Siri to do something. So for example, if I wanted Siri to send a text to someone for me, I would just tap and hold for a moment until the Siri icon, here it is, and I will say, text Joey. And it's asking me what I wanted to say to Joey. And you can see here, it's showing what I'm saying as I'm saying it. And then I'll say cancel. And you can see that it canceled it for me. And then it will go away once I hit the button again. There we go. So as you can see, once I activate Siri, it will listen to everything I'm saying, even if I don't want it. So that's one way. And then you can see here it has different languages for Siri. Set what voice Siri responds to you in. All such things as that. And you can even choose what one Siri can see. I am noticing we actually only have about 5 more minutes. Time flies. If there's anything I haven't touched on yet real fast that you would had some questions about, I can skip forward to that. Or if there's anything I've already said, but you would want me to explain it again, I can. So feel free to put that in the chat. real fast. While you're doing that, I'm going to see if there's anything else. You can see here at the bottom of settings, you'll see like all the different apps you'll have on your phone. If you click on them, it'll give you a rundown of the app and what the app is allowed to access on your phone. So for example, this Discord, it's a social media app. I do have it allowed to use my microphone and camera, cellular data when I need it, but I have the notifications off. And you'll also see it has limited access to my photos. So I get to pick and choose what photos I post to that app, but I will not be able to see all my photos unless I upload them. But then let's see, for example, a different one. Let's see, it's a little bit different. Only has more limited things it can access. Then let's see. Messages. There are certain things it can access, not everything. I also have that right now. I have keep messages forever, but you can set that maybe to like a year. There's also passwords here, but obviously you cannot see them unless I sign in. So that is the main points of settings here. And the last thing I was going to touch on real fast, that's important is, I feel like the most important thing for an iPhone is the phone calls, which you will see in the bottom left of my iPhone. It's a green icon with phone on it. This is where you can access all of your contacts. If you have favorite contacts, I'll show up here. Your most recent phone calls, you will see here in recents. Keypad for the phone. If you have any voicemails, it's in voicemails here. I found them, yeah, the most important thing in contacts. At the top here, you can search for your contacts for by name, or you'll also see on the right side running down, it will be called A, B, C, D, you know, all the way to the number icon. That is a quick way to go through your contacts. Just click on the letter as best as you can. They're kind of small, but you can also scroll down through with your thumb. And you will notice on some of them, I have a red star next to it. That connotates as an emergency contact, which is very good if you ever run into any problems and the emergency personnel, you know, need to contact someone for you. This will show up. Unfortunately, again, it's going to go away. But when you're on the lock screen and, you know, touch the side of your phone, the lock screen icon comes up. Fortunately, I can't really show you, otherwise the mirroring will go away. But when the lock screen comes up and you have your emergency contacts set up, there should be an option just to press on emergency contacts, and that will bring up the emergency contacts without having to unlock the phone, which is very good for the paramedics, so they can reach somebody for you without having to unlock your phone. To do that, or to set up the emergency contacts, when you have a contact in your phone, let's just say here's my own self. To set up emergency contacts, you have a contact in your phone, but you can always add a contact by hitting the plus button in the top right here. The little blue plus, click on it. It'll create a new contact for you. Add the contact, put all their info in, and when it's done, you'll press done. Go press cancel for now. But then once you have the contact in your phone, you're going to scroll down to the bottom, and it's going to say here, second from the bottom, add to emergency contacts. You'll just click on it. I'll ask what the relationship is. You'll click on it, or you can add a custom label. And once you've done it, you'll just hit add. Oops. And it'll say, going to go through all this stuff in the medical ID. But once you have done it, I'm going to remove it myself. So then that person will be added to emergency contacts, and then they'll have the little star next to their name. And that will just let the paramedics know that that person is emergency contact for you, and they can call them. There we go. Okay, unfortunately, that is all the time we've had for today. Again, I can take questions for a couple more minutes. And also, this class will be added to our YouTube page, hopefully within a day or two. You can always search up the Palos Heights Public Library on YouTube, and you should find our old tech class recordings on that YouTube page. And you can watch them, the tech classes there. I should stay up there indefinitely. Also, I will be sending out the 2 links I shared to your emails later today, just so you can also watch those videos again about the setting up your iPhone and the control gestures. Thank you all for coming. I will keep the chat open, for a couple more minutes, just in case you have any additional questions. I'll hopefully be able to answer them. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you all learned a little something today. Thanks.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.